Hello everybody, Reggie Time here, and welcome to what is going to be a brand new challenge of mine, one that I 100% guarantee that I'm going to complete, and I'm going to explain the reasons why I'm going to complete it in a moment. If you will bear with me whilst I just read a post I made to my Facebook group earlier detailing why I'm doing this challenge, and hopefully plenty of you guys will get involved. So first of all, the post reads, I was thinking of doing a 100,000 hand challenge playing 5-0 and 10-0 snap to try and give my poker a sense of purpose. As you guys know, I've recently vlogged about my lack of motivation recently. I've been giving it a lot of thought as to why I haven't been as enthusiastic lately as I have previously been, and I think it's because I've been lacking a kind of sense of purpose or direction a little bit. Kind of been questioning like I don't know what, but it just hasn't. I haven't felt like grinding. It's felt like it's been not pointless, but just like whatever. You know, I'm doing okay financially. I don't need to play poker. I don't feel like I want to play that type of thing. So I've come up with what I think is a pretty awesome idea. So for those of you who don't know, I work with people that have learning disabilities and or like mental health conditions such as autism, bipolar disorder, stuff like that. My wife and I also provide respite care in our home to the families of children and young adults who also have learning disabilities. Like the kids come and they maybe have an overnight stay at our house to give the parents a chance to go out and enjoy themselves, or we'll have children in the afternoon after school or young adults after college and things, just to give parents a little bit of time to themselves as much as anything else, you know. So through this line of work, I've learned about lots of groups that work really hard to provide like social activities for disabled folk in my area, because there's not a lot out there for disabled people, but there are these groups that allow the disabled community to get together, have fun, enjoy themselves in a safe, well-run environment. So one of these groups is associated with a group called Leonard, Cheshire. It's a nationwide company for disabled people, that helps support disabled people in and out of the home, etc. Please do. I'll link below the video to the charity if you want to go and look at it. And this group in my area runs a youth club, and I'd like to try and raise some money through my poker play, through this channel, and through my Facebook group to give them something nice they can do with the kids. I don't know, they could buy a new disco set, they could take the kids out somewhere. I know they sometimes set them to the theatre in town. They could organise more trips away with them. It'd be nice to try and raise some money so they could do something nice in the summer with the kids that use the youth club. So what I'm intending to do is to play 100,000 hands of 5-0 snap and 10-0 snap combined. As this kind of challenge is something that is frequently requested in the comments of the videos. Lots of you guys have said, let's do a challenge video. I know the 16-0 Zoom challenge was going to be popular. I just couldn't be asked doing it. This is one I guarantee you I will see through to the end. 100% without any question. And at the end of the 100,000 hands, I am going to donate 25% of all of my profits from that 100k hands, including bonuses and things like that. That's not all though. I'm also going to donate 20% of any payments for coaching work I receive between now and the 100,000th hand. So if you want to get in touch with me for coaching between now and the 100,000th hand, 20% of what you pay me is also going to go into the pot. So hopefully that might incentivize some of you to come along and take some sessions. Finally though, and this is quite an important bit, I'm hoping that some of you guys that subscribe to the channel, enjoy my content, don't take sessions from it, which is completely fine. The content is out there for free, there's no obligation. But any of you guys who do enjoy my content and think, you know what, I wouldn't mind donating to this cause, as a token of my appreciation for all the content, it'd be really sweet if some of you could make some donations of your own. I don't care what it is, if it's $1, $100, every little bit will help us get to the target of what I'm trying to raise. It'd be really, really sweet if between us we could raise, well, $500 or so. I'll document every single donation that I take, and I'm more than happy to open my PayPal to a nominated person that I have no previous association with, so they can verify that every dollar that gets donated via PayPal is going exactly where it needs to go to. And I'm not trying to pull some weird shifty scam. I mean, I'm on Facebook in my own real name. There's a big group. There's lots of people. It's not a chance this is going to be anything other than a really honest endeavour by me. I'm not anonymous. I'm not some random anonymous guy on the internet. I'm well known in the community. I'm well known within the Facebook group. I have personal friends within the Facebook group, all of who will absolutely vouch for me that I'm a straight up guy. And this isn't some kind of weird let's try and scam anybody thing. It's a genuine attempt to try and raise some money. So there, I'll commit to opening my PayPal to anyone who wants to look at it within reason. I mean, if I get 100 requests, that's not necessary, but I'll make sure it's somebody who doesn't know me that verifies everything at the end. No doubt about that whatsoever. So yeah, I'm going to try and raise at least $500. Anything more would be fucking fantastic. And I'm going to, my commitment to this, in the hope that we get the $500, and hope people make maybe just like regular small donations, one big donation, who cares? If you just commit to make a $2 donation every video, something like that, who knows? Whatever you can afford, whatever's good for you is going to be good for me. My commitment is I'm going to make at least 3 videos every week, and I'll be playing a minimum of 20,000 hands per week, provided that this series gets well supported and the community gets involved and helps support the project. I don't expect everyone to donate, but if like donations don't come in, and then I'm just doing it, and then I'm not seeing donations like regularly dropping in, that might be the one thing that demotivates me. If I could just be making $20-30 a week in donations for the duration of the 100,000 hands for 5 weeks, I'd be more than happy with that. If I make $150 in donations by the end, I'd be more than happy. To be frank, we've already had £137 in donations from some very generous people in the Facebook group, so I'm hopeful that $500 is going to be on the low side and we can maybe make even more, but we'll see how it goes. So yeah, as I said, I really would like some support on this. I'm not going to make the $500 alone in 100,000 hands. If I win at 5 bigs 100, I can expect to make around $400 plus whatever crap bonuses Triple Eight give me, which means 25% of that is I'm going to give $100 to charity. I'm going to plug the coaching a bit more at the start of every session too, and maybe I can make another $100 from that towards the donations. You know, because I'm going to give 20% of everything I earn from that. So if I get $500 worth of coaching work from it, there's going to be another $100 going into the kitty from that. So this means we'll need to generate probably around $300 in donations. As I said, we've already made £137. I'm hoping to blast through the 500, to be honest, but 500's it's a nice target to begin with. So this means, yeah, we'll need to generate $300 in donations. I know it's a lot to ask, but I am genuinely constantly being told how much a lot of you guys appreciate the channel and the Facebook group. So here's a chance for you guys to just maybe show a token of that appreciation by donating to a charity. I don't gain anything from it, the charity does. If you would like to make a donation, please make it to reg@holker.street on PayPal. It's the same as the email address that's linked below the video. Please send us a friend, or the first person sent money and I got docked 5% of it or something like that. So please send us a friend and I'll get the full donation. Or you can send it to my 888 account, which is ReggieTime. If you do send to ReggieTime specifically, could you please confirm the donation amount and payment method to me by email at reg@holker.st, so I can keep really accurate records, so when I do show people at the end everything's above board, it's all there for everybody to see. If you have any questions, please do ask, please do get involved. I'd love to see some regular small donations rolling in. It would make it feel like it's like this challenge is going to be really worthwhile. If it just ends up we playing 100,000 hands and we don't raise more than 500, it will still have been a worthwhile exercise for the channel, but I'd like it to be a worthwhile exercise for the people that we're aiming to help with it too. So there, with that being said, we've now got 25 hands to review, and this is how the videos are going to be. It's going to be every 2 or 3 days. I'm going to just run a filter for all the hands I've played since the last video, and we're going to review every hand that I have played in that time that's been a 50 big blind pot or more. I've either won or lost 50 blinds in. A lot of them are going to be pretty standard coolers. We're not going to go over that, the really cooler ones, quite, you know, in any depth, but hopefully we will get in some decent discussion about some of the other hands. So without further ado, let's get wired in. First time we have kings. What a surprise for one of my videos. We started off with a premium hand. So I open to about 2.5x. I get called by a 44-9. I don't know any stats when I'm playing, by the way. Most of the time these guys are going to be completely new to me, and I'm playing virtually readless. So stats aren't that important. But, I think it's interesting for the video because we can review them as against an unknown and also as against the person with the stats. So we can look at some hands in 2 ways. So we get squeezed, we 4-bet. This is a 5-0 hand. Then this 44-0 just like back raise shoves. pretty deep, really. It's a how deep did we start this? Started it almost 200 blinds deep, so his back raise jammed. I just don't see this as aces very often out the small blind. I think people 3-bet the race out the small blind pretty much all the time. Don't think there's that many people flatting to like do this exact thing. So I was very confident. I just flicked the call in, and we flopped top set because that's how we roll. And the guy had jacks. So there we go. That's hand 1. Hand 2, ace king suited. Most of the hands you're going to see here are going to be premiums because, let's be honest, I am a fucking nit. And I'm just to like say how I'm going to approach this channel. I'm going to approach it with a very tight but hopefully very aggressive style. I'm going to be like pretty tight pre-flop, but hopefully pretty aggressive post-flop in situations where it merits it. I'm not going to be like randomly spewing chips off, but I'm going to be looking to take aggressive lines wherever possible, whenever I think it's a good play, which is something I don't always do. I'm playing natural when I'm playing my own games, especially in fishy games. Sometimes I like to favour a more passive style, but that's not what. Certainly not how we're going to be starting this challenge anyway. We're going to be trying to like run people over post flop and see how it gets us. So anyway, we get 3-bet from a player on the button. Again, he was an unknown. He's pretty much an unknown here. 2 in terms of the stats we have on him. I 4-bet the ace king. He goes all in, or virtually goes all in. We do go all in. He calls, and we lose 2 aces. So that's the second hand. Nothing much to say about that really. I guess getting ace king in pre at 5-0, maybe it's not the best thing in the world. Could we have got away when he put that weird size 4-bet in? I mean, I guess we still got over 100 blinds behind. I guess we could, but I don't think I'm going to be getting away from ace king suited very often. Ace king offsuit possibly, but ace king suited, I'm just not going to get away from that too much. Certainly not against unknowns. So here's time we've got the aces, kings. The kings and the ace king. Now we've got the aces. In the big blind this time, it's another 5-0 hand. Button min raises. I don't know if he was a fish. We might have done this differently, but we 3-bet to 9 blinds. He calls. Yeah, really safe flop. We lead out for 10 big blinds. He calls. Turn is a king. We lead out for another 16 bigs. He min raises, which is a bit fruity. At the time, I remember thinking, well, we're probably still ahead. When we're behind to sets, weird 2 pairs, I guess. But I mean, ace is just too strong to fold here, I think, especially as we know he's not really doing the flush draw. So he's more like to lean towards made hands. I guess he can have stuff like king, queen that's floated. I don't really know, but I wasn't in the mood to fold my aces for a min raise anyway. 7 on the river, which I think is a really useful card for us. It obviously reduces the sets of 7 significantly. Well, quads as they are now. He hasn't got as many combinations of 7s all of a sudden, which is good for us. We check. He decided to go just about all in. And we just called. I'm not sure why I didn't put the rest in. I should have put the other 71, I think. Win or lose here, I think just putting the 71 is the correct play. Anyways, he had a complete airball, which is pleasant. The next one, another ace king of suited variety. It's a 10-0 hand this time. This guy looks like a regular. I kind of suspected he might be, given he was turning up at a lot of tables and what have you, but I didn't know much about him. I certainly do now. We've spent a lot of hands with him today to get up to 700 hands already. We maybe had some money from earlier, who knows, but he was unknown to me in terms of that. I don't know anything about him other than he's probably some kind of regular. Anyway, we 3-bet. He calls. We flop top pair. Top kicker, we c-bet pretty small, which I think is pretty standard for me in these spots. Dry board. Going to want to c-bet a lot of my range on a board this dry. King low. He calls. Deuce on the turn doesn't change anything, you wouldn't have thought. We bet a bit bigger this time because kind of, if he's called the flop, we're hoping he's going to have something he can maybe look us up with. He calls again. 8 of hearts on the river, far from ideal. At this point we've got like a pot-sized bet left. Don't think he's going to have a flush very often. I mean, we're just going to jam here and hope to get called by king queen or king jack suited. Maybe just getting fold an awful lot. Thing is, we can't check call. We need to bet, and most of my range wants to bet for full pot here and just jam. They're not often going to want to bet smaller here. I don't see a situation where we're really going to want to bet $2 here, given how the hand's gone down. So I did go all in. He snapped us off, which probably isn't good news, and he rivered a set of 8s, which is kind of unfortunate. Another ace king hand. Button opens. Didn't know anything about him. See now that he's a regular, but didn't know this at the time. We 3-bet to 11 blinds. He 4-bets. We jam. He calls. Well, this one's interesting, isn't it? And he just had pocket kings. Whatever. 7-6 suited this time. We open. First time we had a non-premium. We get 3-bet. Oh, remember this hand. This is really unfortunate for Seth. Wow. He's a player I've recently started doing some work with. Very nice young man. I misclicked here. I didn't realise he'd done this. He'd done the cold 4-bet. I mean, this is just a super trivial fold to the cold 4-bet. It's not even close. But all I saw was like this guy's that small raise next to me, and I just auto-clicked call, thinking I was just putting like another 15 cents in or whatever. It turns out I wasn't, and then he folds, and then we get into a mess on the flop because Sephir's range is really strong here, but we have a pair and a flush draw, and that sort of thing gives me a quarter chunky. When I get a pair and a flush draw, especially in a cold 4-bet pot, you know you're in trouble, but at the same time you're like, gamble, 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 gamble. He bet 76. At this point, I actually said to him in chat, I'm fucked here. Misclick pre. Now I'm going to lose a lot of money. Probably should have said that to him, because it kind of probably fucked with any fold equity I might have, because I did that straight after it. He tanked forever and ever and ever. I don't know if he was nit rolling me, slow rolling me, just having some fun with me. Not sure what. But we river 2 pair. Happy days for us, and apologies to Yusuf. Ace it again. Back to the real hands. Back to the real poker hands here. We open, we get called, we get squeezed by someone who I now know is a donkey. I just call, hoping this guy comes along. He just does that, which is very pleasant. He does that. We do that. And we lose 2 pocket 6s. His play is clearly fucking insane. 19/4 spewing his ring up, but never mind. You know, not much you can do about that. No point dwelling on it. Jack 10 suited. We call and open on the button. We flop a pair. Don't remember this hand at all. Donkey or a fish donks into us. I call. Turn 2 pairs. He leads out for pot again. Sorry for the sniffing out. Got a cold coming on. I'm not happy about it, but what can we do? He leads for pot again at this point. I've got the best hand probably, and if I don't, well, I'm going to lose a big one anyway. I just jam because I don't want to see a king or a queen on the river. I don't want to see an 8 or an ace. So I just jam thinking he can call me off with just like ace queen, ace king, who knows what else. So we do jam. He just call. River's an 8, which pairs the board, which hurt me a little bit when I saw it. Then relieved when I saw he just randomly just punted the Jack 5. 9-8 suited. We 3-bet versus someone who was an unknown to me, but I'm on the button and I've been doing a lot of 3-betting versus middle position. 9-8 suited slots nicely into that strategy for me. He calls. We flop a open ender to the dummy end and a flush draw. Pretty good flop for us. We c-bet. He calls. Turn a king, which isn't a good card for us in terms of hitting our hand, but in theory it should give us quite a lot of fold equity if he is in there with like a medium pair or something. So I elected to go with an overbet here on the turn. He shipped it in my face. I thought, oops, time to get lucky. You know, we don't really need like whatever here. We got plenty enough equity to make this call once we decide to overbet, and we don't get there. And he just called the 3-bet out position with the king jack, which one comes to expect from people with 57-29 stats, I guess. 5-handed here for some reason, not sure why, because the pools were full all day, but we open the 10s under the gun. 2 callers, flop top set. This one's going to be fucking marvellously interesting. We bet call, fold. Still got the nuts as far as I'm concerned. If he's in there with the 4 deuce or the 7-4, then fucking hallelujah, you're going to win all my money. I go for a large bet, given how wet the board texture is. He min raises. I still have no interest if he's got the 4 deuce. I can't buy him having the 4 deuce, so I just go all in, thinking he's going to call it off with worst draws, pocket jacks, sorry, not with worst draws, with draws, pocket jacks, pocket queens, ace 10. Loads of stuff we can get value from, so you ship it in his face. And he just had the 4-5 offsuit, which is a bit bonkers. 24-16. We're expecting to turn up with like cold calling on the small in the button with 4-5 off, but there you go. People do funny things from time to time. So we open the 10-9 suited under the gun. Pick up a call. Flop top pair. Lead out. Get called. Turn a flush draw. Right, let's do this the other way around. What would I like to see myself do here? We could bet call or raise. But a lot of my raise going to want to check here. I'm going to have a lot of stuff like king queen or jack queen that's just stab the flop, or the ace queen. I'm going to have a lot of just random overs that want to check here. So I guess this isn't a bad hand to check either. And check call or check raise or something. I think either's fine. Whatever I do, I'm happy with. We lead out. He calls again. We river the flush. I decide to go with an overbet. Just, I mean, if he has got sets or any 2 pairs, or if he's 2 pair with the ace or something, then great. Now I remember. He jams it in my eye. And I'm sat here with like whatever the 4th nuts, thinking, oh fuck, because I mean he isn't bluffing here. There's absolutely 0% chance this guy is bluffing. And I was like, shit the bed. I just overbet with a flush on the river, hoping to get called, and I've been jammed on. But in the end, I just decided, well, I've got a flush, I'm going to call, and he had the straight, which fuck knows what his jam's all about, but there you go. Good for him. Even better for us. Aces again. There's a surprise. We get 3 bet with 4 bet. He jams, we call. Fucking enthralling. Then we flop top set to make it even more fucking interesting. Newsflash, guys. I think we're going to win this one. I don't want any spoilers. I know you guys don't like to see the cards till the end, but I think those right there, right now, are worse than these ones here. And now I think we're definitely going to win. And he just had kings. Wasn't that enthralling? Ace queen here. Small blind min raises. We 3 bet. They call. We flop top pair. We bet small, given how dry the board is. He calls. Turns a pretty good card for us. He shouldn't have that many 6s that call 3 bets out of position. We check. He bets. He decides to go all in. And it's never nice to get check jammed on the turn, but whatever. With just 1 pair, I think this is a spot where you just absolutely have to call. And he, I'm guessing, reacted to my small bet sizes. So I guess we need to go over and find him, put a note on him that he maybe like reacts in an aggressive way to small bets. Who knows? Ace 10 offsuit, which is a bit of a shit hand by my standards. What am I doing in this fucking pot? Now we're isolating, okay. Pick up 2 callers, so our isolation absolutely did not work. We flop top pair. We bet, we get called, and we get a fold. And we turn 2 pairs. He just donk jams into us. Don't think there's anything to do but call here. If he has the king queen or the ace jack or the set, whatever, then fuck our lives. But top 2 pairs facing a weird line. I think we just have to go with it. Called. Didn't like the river, I guess. But he said ace 4. Happy days. And I was asking for donations towards a charity earlier. These players maybe knew in advance, because that's a couple of donations we've had now. Aces again. We 3 bet. Someone calls, a regular calls. King XX. Oh, remember this one. I see bet the flop on the bigger side. Because we started a little bit, tiny bit deeper. Not much, but also because I mean, if we're just gonna hope he's got a king, pocket jacks, king queen, that type of thing. I don't expect. I think I knew this guy was. I don't know why. Something about him made me think he was a regular. Can't remember though. Could be bullshit in there. But anyways, I decided to size up on this one. We get called. Turn is a 4 of clubs, which is pretty good for us. But I think I like checking here overall. You know, we're going to have many flushes in our range here. We're going to have a lot of like ace king without a club, ace king with a club, king queen, maybe just some random stabs that I now want to give up. So I like checking here when I got the ace of clubs. I don't like checking when I don't have the ace of clubs. I think we keep betting when I don't have the ace of clubs. And we check when we do have it. So I check, he bets half pot. We have a really easy call. River's a brick. He checks. We check. He bets pretty big again. And then I didn't like this spot, but I kind of think, well, he hasn't got the nuts. We know that. So when he's like betting this big and he doesn't have the nuts, when you bet this big, you kind of polarizing bet size. So you'd expect someone to be like nutty or air. I didn't like it. I don't like paying off 50 big blind river bets with just one pair, but in the end I did, and sadly for us he peeled the king 8 pre and just flopped us in trouble. Aces again. You guys will be sick of seeing fucking aces. Anyway, we isolate the limper folds and 2 other people come along. Right, so this guy's a regular. He's got a leading. Got a donking range on these dry boards. Fair enough. So anyway, we call and the guy behind calls. Turns a 9, which looking at it now I don't like. But I decided to bet anyway. I mean, there's lots of 2 pairs straights. It's a fucking Nigel Dreadful card. I'm not really sure why I'm betting there. I guess I'm just wanting to like try and protect my hand a little bit, I guess. At this point, I think this CG player, whatever it's called, is giving up. So I guess we're only playing against a $3 stack size. I guess I just want to like protect my hand, get value from this guy if we can. He calls, and as expected, he folds. And river's a break. We put the rest in. He calls, and he just has queens. God, my nose is running. 2 queens on the button. We isolate a limpet. Big blind comes along too. We flop the overpair. We see bet pretty big into 2 players. A limp call, of course. 6 of hearts again. Not a great card on the turn for us. It does give some, not many 2 pairs, but some straights get there. Some more draws develop. We want to be betting this turn pretty big, I think. And I decided to go for that 2x pot over bet, which I think is fine. He can absolutely call with draws 10x, 8x, pocket jacks, pocket 9s, pocket 7s. There's shit tons of hands he can call with here. I think the overbet's completely fine. I would do it again and again, especially against someone who thinks a fish. Anyway, he calls and the 9 comes, which is a bad card for us, but it didn't matter because we were already beat by the set. But I wanted to do that there with the queens. I'm going to do it with my big draws too. A king, queen, spades, king, jack, spades, queen, jack, spades, ace, x. I'm going to want to do that with all my spade draws and make me 2 overs and gutters and stuff. So I think that's completely fine. Just didn't work out. Ace 9 suited, min raise. We 3-bet, he calls. Again, would I 3-bet against a 21/6? Probably not. But if we're going to flop the nut flush, we're going to get excited about it. He checks. We bet really small. On monotone board, you can bet really small with the entire range. I like it. He check raises us. No reason to go silly here. Just call and let him carry on betting, which he does. He bets 180 into 240. Again, in my opinion, no reason to raise here. Just let him keep bluffing. If he's got a flush, he's going to keep betting anyway. If he's got a bluff, he's hopefully going to keep betting. And there's not that much to protect against really, apart from like 2 pairs or sets and the board pairing, which it did. And he bet 450 on the river. And I was toying between the idea of jamming and just calling, jamming and calling, jamming and calling, jamming and calling. Part of me wanted to just jam to get value from a flush, but then I thought, well, is he going to fold a flush because I've got the nuts? Given my stack size, I should have expected him not to fold. And I think I should have jammed here. I think I made a mistake because I just called. It was a mistake that saved us money, but I think I should have lost another 335 in that hand. I think jamming the river there is absolutely the right play, and I didn't make it. Ace King, we don't. We isolate a limper again and get picked up on the button, and the limper comes along. Flop really well. At this point, we've got like an SPR of 3 point something. We're going nowhere with our top pair, top kicker. We c-bet, we get min raised. We call. I think I like the call here. We were just like with the intention of just not folding the turn, just letting him do his thing. He bets, we ship it. He calls, and he just had the king 7. Sorry, these there. I don't hope you didn't hear it. I think I got the pause in the time. So yeah, he just had the king 7, and happy days for us. We've only got 1, 2, 3, 6 more hands to do, which is great because my eyes are streaming and my nose is running. So the sooner I get this finished, the better. I'm going to pause again for a second. 8 9s under the gun. Pretty loosey goosey for Reggie. Bottom of my range. Are we going to get punished for opening the bottom of our range under the gun? Flop a flush draw. He leads out. We raise, which I think is completely standard. We don't have any showdown value, but we do have quite a bit of equity with 2 overs and a flush draw. The overs might not be worth much, but the flush draw probably will be. He calls. Turns a 9. He checks. We check back. Again, a completely standard. We don't need to bluff anymore. We've probably got the best hand, but we don't really want to bet and face with like an all-in or something, or a big raise. River's 5 of clubs. He goes with the overbet. I was like, oh, fuck off. Could we block spades, which is a bit of a pisser, because we don't, when we want to bluff catch here, we don't really want to be blocking the most obvious draw, which is spades. But I mean, I guess he can. My reasoning was he can have some 6x, some ace x, what have you, that just plays this way. So in the end, I tanked and called, and he did have 6x. Fortunately, there were 2 green swans, and we lost the pot. Pocket aces again. We 3-bet someone who is evidently a maniac, although we didn't know that at the time. He calls. Good dry flop. We bet quarter pot. Had I known he was a maniac, I would have bet bigger and just jammed the turn. 9 on the turn. We bet 97. He calls. Rivers, like, not a great card. Backdoor flush gets there, which I'm not worried about, but it will prevent us getting action sometimes from worse. I checked. Not sure why I checked. Don't think I like the check. Don't think that. Again, we're going to be calling here in a situation we don't really want to be calling, because we don't actually block any of his value hands. I'd rather have a diamond here so we can like block some of his value hands. So the last hand where we had a bluff catcher and we were blocking his bluffs, this time we've got like a bluff catcher we're not blocking his value. So both these aren't ideal situations to call in. I did end up calling though, and he just had a random jack king. Aces again. We got aces a lot today. So min raise from against someone who's probably going to be a really bad player. If I'd have known it, we would have bet. If I'd have known his stats were that, I would have absolutely made that a little bit bigger, but we didn't. We lead. He min raises. I just ship it in on that board texture, not fucking around against somebody who's only got half a stack and probably going to be stacking off with way worse than just sets here. This is 100 blinds deep against a regular. It's way more puke inducing. Against a fish, it just isn't. It's just jam and watch them call it off with 9x, 8x, flush draws, smaller over pairs, who knows what. Anyway, we driven the nuts, so it's all good. Well, the second nuts, but whatever. Let's not be a pedant. He just got it in with the top pair. 3 to go, and I can go and blow my nose. 2 10s. Open under the gun to 4x, and I decided to 3-bet the 10s. Probably just to isolate and because you're stack size. That's what it'll be. We failed to isolate though. And calls, well, we just flop a boat because that's what we do here at Reggie Time Poker. We flop a boat and then have the fish dunk into us. It's kind of pretty bad that he like donks that big, because it's gonna, when we call, it's gonna give this guy a chance to get away from everything pretty much. But anyways, he did. Nothing much we can do about it. We just call. He just had that random nonsense. Deuces. I'm guessing we're going to flop a set here. Oh, what a surprise. Flop a set of the dry board. Someone leads out, we call. Turn. Leads out again, we call. River the boat, he leads out, we jam, and he folds. So that's a nice red line win there. And then the last hand is Queen of Clubs. We open, he call, we flop top pair, we c-bet, he calls, we turn a flush draw. Again, I quite like checking here because a lot of my range doesn't want to bet here. A lot of my stuff, I don't know if I've got like an ace king, wants to give up. Maybe I continue with ace jack. I'm not going to continue with like my pocket eights, well, yeah. But anyways, feels to me like a card that I should be checking quite a lot. When it came off, I thought, yeah, that's a card to check on. Go for a check raise maybe, or just a check call. He bets. I did decide to go for the check raise. He puts it all in with us, and he ripped it straight. So there you go. There's all the hands that we played today. That have been over 50 blinds. This is what it's going to look like in graph form. That's how the day's gone. We got to like a pretty good start. We peaked at whatever, like $40, $36. Finished up just 19 or so dollars up for the day. We're pretty pleased with that. Good volume too, 300,000 hands. And if I can get anywhere near 3,000 hands a day in, I'll be really pleased. So good volume for the first day. We'd expect that when you're chomping at the bit. We'll see how we're getting on when we're like 9 days in and we've got 20,000 hands and we're like, oh, I'm sick of this 5 and 10 and L. But I guarantee you this challenge is going to get finished. And I said the only thing that will prevent it get finished is if I think that you guys aren't getting behind the charity. And that isn't necessarily to blackmail you, but it's important to me to raise the money for the charity. If I don't think we're going to raise much money for the charity, then I'm just going to be less motivated to do it. I promise it's not an attempt at blackmail or to try and bribe people into donating. It's just fact. You know, if I'm like 35,000 hands down and the poker's not been going great and I've only made $100 in 30,000 hands and the donations aren't coming in, I'll start thinking, well, you know what am I doing with my life? But if the donations keep steadily dripping in on like a video by video basis, it doesn't matter what my results are. I will guarantee you all the way through to the 100,000 hands with the same level of content as we provided here, reviewing every single hand over 50. There'll be tons of hand reviews. But please, guys, do get involved with the donations because it means a lot to me. This charity, it means a lot to me to be able to go in and put some smiles on faces, and you know, it's just a nice thing to do, isn't it? So hope you guys have enjoyed it. Hope you guys can get behind the new challenge, and yeah, we'll see you again soon with another one. Bye bye for now.